So regardless of the economy, the real estate industry will always be in demand. Even in times like this, it's important to diversify and explore new options in the industry. Real estate's great because there's so many different aspects of it, a lot to explore. So I just compiled a small list of part-time jobs. Whether you have another job doing something else, maybe a good idea to take a look at a few part-time jobs in real estate. So number one would be Notary Public. I just went to this website here, how to become a Texas notary. I am actually a Texas notary. Generally, people perform notary services as part of a smaller part of their full-time job. So the full-time job, they could work at a bank, a law firm, title company, real estate company, contracting firm, whatever it may be. So to notarize something is basically just to verify documents. So a notary is a person that would be present at the time that a party is signing the document, just confirming that they're there on their own free will. That they show their ID and say, okay, they verified this person, and basically just to prevent fraud, which is very important. Notaries can be self-employed as they're mobile, so you can drive around the city or your little part of town, whatever it may be, and just show up at real estate closings. However, being a notary isn't a high-volume business, given that it can require driving. Maybe if you're in a smaller town, it'd be nice, but if you're in a larger town, it may not be worth the money to be going back and forth all the time. Not to mention, when companies who would need a notary, they would just have it in-house. However, there is some money to be made in it. So I just looked here on a few of the requirements to become a notary: be 18 years of age or older, be a legal resident of the state of Texas, no criminal convictions or felonies, provide a 4-year, $10,000 notary bond, complete an application approved by the state, pay $21 state application fee, purchase a notary stamp and record book once you receive your notary commission from the state, take the oath of office, mailed or emailed to you once you're approved as a notary by the state. So that's it for notaries. The second thing would be getting a real estate license. So it can be a great idea in the Texas market, especially because things are moving so quickly. It's not exactly necessary for investing, but it can definitely help. It could save you a bit of money. Real estate agents do work on commissions, so they don't get paid until homes are sold or deals are done. That can be great in a strong economy, or if you have a knack at it and you're working hard and doing well. But it can also be bad in a weak economy because a lot of people end up getting washed out because they're not setting aside, the amount of time they need to, or maybe they just have other priorities. So I looked through here a few requirements as well. Be a citizen of the U.S., 18 years of age or older, and just meeting the TREC's qualifications. So TREC would be the Texas Real Estate Commission. So they're basically a wealth of information just for anything real estate related in terms of becoming licensed, renewing your license, continuing education, whatever it may be. But just roughly speaking, you would complete 180-hour pre-licensing education. So just a bunch of classes preparing you for those exams, and then you need to pass with a minimum score of 70% on each final. And then completing the application, get your fingerprints taken, and then actually passing they have the national and state exams. So I believe it is the national exam. It has 85 questions and you have 150 minutes. Whereas the state exam is a bit shorter. The state exam, pretty self-explanatory, but the state exam is particular to the state of Texas, the real estate laws that we have here. And it's 40 questions and it has a 90-minute time allowance as well. So the third one would be a property manager. So a property manager could take care of a property for a landlord. However, you may need to have a real estate license if you want to get into property management. Again, it kind of depends on what you're doing or who you're working for. For example, if you're showing or leasing a property for a landlord, you would need to be licensed. So I found something here online from TREC. So the question is, does a property manager have to be licensed? The answer: it depends on what the property manager is looking for, is doing for the property owner. If the duties include showing or leasing the property for the owner for which the manager gets paid, a license is required. A license is also required for any person who controls the acceptance or deposit of rent from a resident of a single-family residential real property unit. All right, so it's probably best at any rate just to check with the real estate commission. But property management can be great, and it can allow you to see a new part of the industry, because it's a people business, and a lot of it is dealing with other people, whether they, whether it be dealing with a landlord that you work for, or dealing with a tenant who you technically are also working for. But yeah, so the next one, number 4, would be appraiser. So appraiser is a really neat part of the industry as well. So an appraiser will basically go out to a property and assess the value of it. They'll do an inspection. They'll basically walk inside the house, in all of the rooms and in between, and basically just determining what the property value would be in the event that someone does want to buy or sell the property, to determine at that point in the year what it would cost, or what the price would be. So being an appraiser is pretty neat. It can actually really give you a broader perspective on doing deals, or just understanding real estate in general. So I looked here on how to become an appraiser. You can take a few of this trainee program. So step 1, you complete the education requirements. So you have a few classes, appraisal 1, 2, and then the standard procedures for appraisal as well. And that is for the trainee program. So you would have to be a trainee before you're an actual appraiser. And one note here as well is that an appraiser, it's a very technical field, and a lot of it can be very regionally based. So if you work in the Austin or San Antonio area, a lot of the appraisers have specific knowledge for specific parts of Austin or San Antonio, whichever metro area you're in. Another note on appraisers is that the state of Texas does require that an appraiser have 5 years of experience before taking on a trainee. So that by the time, if you are a trainee and you're looking for a mentor, you have someone who's very qualified and knows how to get the job done and knows the market well. So the appraisal program requirements, just a few more hours, appraisal 3, 4, 5, and 7, just more appraisal classes. So you would submit 79 hours of education application for appraiser trainee to their appraiser association. Complete your 1,000 hours of experience over a minimum of 6-month period. So you need those 1,000 hours, and what's neat is you can get those 1,000 hours of experience while studying. So that's definitely a good thing. And not only while studying, but also while working with an appraiser that's been around for a minimum of 5 years, like mentioned before. So just submit your application, be 18 years of age or older, and then maybe take a prep course before, and then take the exam to be an appraiser. And number 5, so just investing as well. So investing can be a great part-time gig, whether you're actually in the real estate industry or you're working in a completely unrelated field, but there's something that you really enjoy about real estate. You like the freedom that it can give you, or you like maybe you just have a knack for it, or you don't know much about it, but you know that it's a vehicle to do something and put yourself in a better position. So again, with investing, kind of very similar to being an agent, you don't get paid unless a deal is done. Again, not in the sense that something is sold, but just, you don't get paid unless the deal is done. So not to mention, there is also a learning curve as well. It can be a pretty daunting task, just getting all your ducks lined up, getting your funding, making sure you have the capital, the money, getting good people on your team, making sure that you have that appraiser to come out, you have that inspector to come out, you have everything taken care of at the title company, and you have everything. If you're going to fix and flip a house, you have a handyman or someone who knows what they're doing and how to make those necessary repairs for you to eventually flip it or keep it as a rental or whatever your plan may be. So what did I miss? I did my best to give y'all the best 5 that I could think of, but it'd be great to hear from you. Comment below and let me know what you think about those 5. Agree, disagree. I could probably add another 5 or 10 more. So stay tuned for the next video.